Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Saturday session with ExamRevision. My name's Keith Walsh, and I'm going to take you through the Leaving Cert Geography. We're going to look at the paper, and then we're going to look at ways to approach the Leaving Cert short questions. Okay, which is really important. It's worth the same as your physical. It's worth the same as your regional, your elective, and your geoecology. So it's a really important part of the course, and I'm going to give you strategies for you guys to take away today and how to tackle this part of the paper. Okay, so just to let you know about some of our upcoming Saturday sessions. Okay, so today every Saturday we have a Saturday session for junior cycle or leaving certificate students. It's free, it's 1 hour, and it's just like a live grind. And what we have today is Saturday the 5th of February. We have Leaving Cert Geography. Next week we have Lee, and he's going to be looking through Leaving Cert History, that's from 11 to 12. And then we've junior cycle home economics on it's the follow. Sorry, the date is wrong on that. So that's going to be home economics was last week as well, but it's also going to be on so that'll be the 19th of February, and we'll have junior cycle home economics, and it's on from 11 to 12. So it's on 11 12 to make it easy for you guys to remember. So every Saturday 11 12, and you can tune in and watch the lessons. Okay, just to let you know about our February midterm revision courses. Okay, so we have got February midterm revision courses running, and I'm just going to quickly just show you the different courses that we have running. Okay, so they're all delivered by examiners and outstanding teachers. They're live and on demand, so you can watch back until July 2022, and you'll be given like H1 notes or distinction level notes if you sign up for the junior cycle. Okay, so the subjects that we have running, so Monday we've got Leaving Cert Spanish, then we've got Monday Physics, then we have Leaving Cert English, then we've got Chemistry, Ag Science is sold out, Business is sold out, then we've got on Thursday we've got Leaving Cert Biology, Leaving Cert Maths with Anya, we've got Leaving Cert Geography with myself, we've got French, Leaving Cert French, the Irish is booked out, and then we've got Leaving Cert History again with Lee on the Saturday. For junior cycle, all the courses are there. Okay, now I know you guys that are tuning in today are Leaving Cert students, so they're the ones that are relevant to you. If you want to read about it, okay, so you can click on it, and if you click on this, you'll download a PDF and you can read about the details. Okay, so this Leaving Cert Physics, so Tom has taken that. Tom Dixon, outstanding teacher, and if you click on that, you'll get the information on what he's going to cover on the course. There's an early bird offer, but it's finished in 5 days' time, so it's €99 for one subject or 3 for €250, and then the price will go back to €129 for each course. Okay, so that's there if you're interested, just to let you know. And now we're just gonna go back to the PowerPoint and get started. Okay, so with the layout, I'm going to quickly just fly through this layout, okay, and then we're going to get into a question and actually go through it. Okay, so leaving the layout of the paper, you've got 5 sections. Okay, so you've got the short questions, which we're going to look at today. Then you've got your physical and your regional geography, so core unit 2 and 3, and then you've got your elective. Okay, so this is you've got an option here. Some students will do the human elective, some will do the economic elective, and then if you're a higher level student, you will have to do an option, and you've got 4 different options, and you will have studied one of those options. Okay, so the one that we look at here at ExamRevision is geoecology. Okay, and so that's that. Okay, so the layout of the paper. Okay, so short questions, this is what we're focusing on today. It's 80 marks and it's worth 16% of your overall geography grade. Okay, physical geography 80 marks, worth 16% of your overall grade. Regional geography 80 marks, worth 16% of your overall grade. Your economic elective or your human elective 80 marks, worth 16%. And then your option, the one that I choose, is geoecology. It's 80 marks. It doesn't matter which option you pick. Okay, it's still worth 80 marks and it's 16%. Then you add in your field study. Okay, it's 100 marks, that's 20%. So you've got 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the paper that you've got to do. That adds up to 80%, and then you've got the 20% then for your field study. Okay, so the total for your leaving certificate is 500 marks. Okay, your timing. Okay, so these are timing that I would suggest you would do for the leaving certificate. Now these are suggested timings, and these are timings that I think timing is very unique to the person, and you need to work on. You need to find out like what is your timing. Okay, but I'm going to give you my suggested timing would be 30 minutes for short questions, 30 minutes for physical, 30 minutes from regional, 30 minutes for the elective, and 30 minutes for your option. Oh, sorry, 40 minutes for your option. Okay, and that'll give you 2 hours 40 minutes. Your exam is 2 hours 50, so you'll have an extra 10 minutes. Okay, and that 10 minutes is really crucial in your leaving certificate exam, geography exam. You need to use that 10 minutes to pick the questions that you're going to do and read through the paper and make sure you're happy with the different, because you've got a lot of choice in geography, which is fantastic. And like this year you've even got more choice, and with the adjustments and further to Norma Foley's like announcing like this week, you're going to probably even have even more choice again, because she's alluded to having extensive choice for all the papers. Okay, and we'll talk more about that now as we move forward. So like sometimes students often say to me, well, why 30 minutes for short questions? Okay, because the short questions, like it's you know, you can do them like in 20 minutes, and I do agree you can possibly do them in 20-25 minutes, and if you do, that's fantastic, because then you're saving yourself time. But I wouldn't rush through the short questions and then jeopardize like marks in the short questions by making silly mistakes just to save time for my regional or my physical or my elective or whatever it might be. Because look, it's worth the same amount. It's worth 16%. It's the same 80 marks as your regional. So all the study that you do for your regional geography or physical geography, the core units, it's the short questions is worth the same. So it's really important that you tackle these and that you practice these. It's skills based, so once you practice them, you will get better, because with skills you always get better. So here's the adjustments, okay, as they currently stand. So no adjustments for time, and there's no adjustments for the short questions. So the short questions, 12 questions, you have to do 10, but a little tip, answer all 12, okay, because the examiner will mark your 12 best. We'll mark all 12 and take your 10 best. So part 2 then, you've got your structured essays, 320 marks, okay? So you got to do 4 questions, okay? So 4 questions. And this year, at the minute, as it currently stands, you're allowed to pick 1 question from each section, or you could actually pick 2 questions from 1 section and leave out a whole section, okay? So the 4th question can be from any of the sections in here. So you got to do 4 questions. So I'm just going to show you that in a little bit more detail, because I know it can be a little bit unclear with that, like with that screenshot that the department has released. So I'm just going to show you just to show you what it looks like in a little bit clearer format. So here it is here. So short questions you have to do, get 80 marks. And then you've got your physical, your regional, your elective, and your option. Okay, so you've got 4 questions, and you've got 4 sections, and you have to answer 4 questions. But 2 of those questions, okay, 2 of those questions can actually be from the same section. Okay, at the minute, okay. Now this will probably change, and it might be more in line with what happened in the 2021 paper. So those of you that if you're familiar, what happened last year was they reduced this number from answering from 4 questions to 3 questions, and you were able to pick 2 questions from 1 section. Okay, so essentially what you could do last year was you could just do 2 questions in physical and your geoecology. Okay, and that was it. You could leave out your region, you could leave out your elective. So it was very, very nice. And because Norma Foley has mentioned that it's going to be extensive choice and options for students, I think, and like changes, I think this could be reduced to 3, but we don't know that yet, so we just have to wait and see. At the minute, we know what the adjustments have been released, and we should just go with them. We shouldn't like take it that it is going to be changed, because it might not be changed. So at the minute, you've got fantastic choice, even if it stays the same. You've got fantastic choice like this year in the 2021 paper. You've got 4 sections: your physical, your region, your elective, and your option. You can do any 4 questions, and you can pick 2 from 1 section. So you can essentially leave out 1 whole section, which is amazing. When you compare that to previous years from 2019 back. Okay, so short questions. Sorry. So short questions, 80 marks, 16%. Your time in 30 minutes, okay, maximum, okay. Make sure you read the questions properly, okay. It's really important. And students, I say this all the time, and you know, students probably think, yeah, of course I'll read it, but you really need to make sure you read it properly, because it's so often students like make silly mistakes by not reading the questions properly, and we can't afford to give away silly marks here, because they're really easy to get, like these marks, if you are if you're just careful and you've practiced like your questions. Okay. The next thing is answer all questions. So you have 12 questions, answer all 12. The examiner will pick your best 10, and that's what gives you a really good opportunity to maximize your marks. Core units 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's where the questions come from. So as long as with short questions, students don't know how they made up of. Well, they're made up of the 3 core units. So physical geography, regional geography, and then your geographical skills. Okay. Another key thing, always put the units in. So if the question asks you to put like how many millimeters is this, or how many centimeters is this, or how many people migrated into Ireland in the Pacific year, whatever it might be, make sure you say what it is. Okay, state the units. Okay, if it asks you what's atmospheric pressure, make sure you put the millibars or hectopascals, whatever it might be, put the units in, because you lose the marks. Okay, so if you do all the effort to work out the calculation or to work out the answer, and then you don't put the units in, you lose the marks. And practice. Okay, and I'm going to take you through today's. I'm actually going to do a full paper with you today for the short questions. I've got it set up here. I'm going to go in and do a previous year and go through it and show you how I would tackle the paper. Okay, so for your physical geography, this will be suggested timing. Okay, so you've got questions 1, 2, and 3, part A, B, and C. So A is 20, B is 30, C is 30. I would do 5 minutes for part A, and I'd do 12 minutes 30 seconds for B and C. Okay, and that adds up to your 30 minutes. Now, if you do your short questions first, which I suggest you do, and you do the short questions in 24 minutes, and you've saved 6 minutes, then you know that you can put an extra minute in here. Okay, for your B, you could go 30.5 minutes. Your C could go 30.5 minutes for your physical. For your regional, you can do the same thing. So we're going on to regional here now. You could do 30.5, and then for your elective, you could do 30.5 for B and 30.5 minutes for C, if you've saved that, like the 6 minutes. So you need to kind of learn what your timing is, okay? And that's really critical. Again, you won't learn your timing but by like just sitting your mock and doing the paper. You need to actually practice like your short questions, set your timer out, get your stopwatch, hit the stopwatch on, and do the short questions. Turn it off. How long were you? Okay, 25 minutes. Do another paper, do another paper, do another paper, do another paper. And then you'll really get to understand, right, okay, short questions takes me about 25 minutes to do. It takes me 20 minutes. It takes me 28 minutes roughly. Then do the same for your regional. Okay, so how long does it take you to do part A's? Okay, it's taking me 10 minutes, right? I need to cut that down. Okay, your economic elective is the same. It's questions 7, 8, 9. Your human 10, 11, 12. Okay, and it's 5 minutes for section A, 12.5 for B and C. Okay, humans the exact same. Okay, 10, 11, 12. And then you come on to your option. Okay, so the option that you've got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, all the way to 24. Okay, and the question that I would that I focus on is the geoecology. So it's 16, 17, 18, and you have to do one question for the option, and I suggest 40 minutes. Now I understand you might have the essay pretty very well learned off and all your SRPs, and you might be able to get this down in 30 minutes. If you do, fantastic, you save 10 minutes, you can add that in, and then you can adapt and change it. So the exam technique, just really briefly before I go on to the short questions, the exam technique for the 30 markers, okay, I would always, when you name or state whatever the question's asking, so give a name of whatever's asking. If it's asking for impacts, if it's asking for processes, give name something straight away. You'll get your SRP. Examples, always give 2 examples, okay, for every question for the 30 markers. A lot of times you'll get 2 SRPs, and sometimes you might even get more, depending on how good your example is and how well you explain it. But there's normally 2 examples, 2 SRPs going for 2 examples. So give 2 different examples. Diagram, but have an annotated diagram. What's the difference between label and annotate? Annotation is when you write more than one word. It's not just a label. It's not just one word. One word is like a label. If you say 2, 3, 4 words, that's an annotation. Okay, and they are fantastic, and that's what you want in geography. Okay, so 1 SRP, 2 marks, and then your examination, you've got left then with 11 SRPs. So straight away, if you do this little technique where you give 2 examples and you do a diagram for everything, you've got 4 SRPs, really easy, and then you just have 11 SRPs left for your examination. Okay, tips. Okay, so tips for doing your 30 markers: examples to the start and end. Okay, So put your examples at the start and at the end, because sometimes you might get an extra SRP. If you have examples at the start and at the end, annotate one diagram. Don't do 2, 3, 4, and 5 diagrams. Just annotate one diagram, okay? And you can put as much information on the one diagram, like that's fine. And you can get more than one SRP for your diagram, okay? You can get 2, 3, 4. You potentially can get all your SRPs on your annotate diagram, okay? But don't do separate ones. Just do one and put as much information on it as you feel is relevant, okay? Focus on the question being asked, okay? Too often students learn off questions and just regurgitate on the day, and it's very easy for an examiner to spot that, okay? Now we understand you're going to have to learn off, you're going to have lots of things learned, lots of information and statistics and points like learned that you'll know, okay? But what you need to do is just focus on the question in hand. So how do you focus on the question being asked? Well, what you do is you reword the question, always refer back to the question, don't go off on tangent, okay? Just because you've learned something off, and if you've learned something off, make sure it links to the question, okay? That's really, really important. So reword the question, I would say 2-3 times for your 30 markers, and then always start on a new page, okay? This is something that students very often don't do, but statistically you score much higher when you start on a new page, okay? And it's just much easier for the examiner. It's also better for you because with your timings that I've given you in the previous slides, if you're finished something, if you're finished, like say a part B, okay, so you're not finished at part B, so you're doing physical geography part B, and it's 12.5 minutes, and then once your 12.5 minutes is up, I'd move on, okay? But if you start a new page, you've done like a page and we'll say a quarter, okay, but you're not fully finished. If you do part C directly underneath it, you are not then able to, you've no space, okay? Where if you go onto a brand new page and do part C, you might come into the end of the exam and you've got 2 minutes left, and then you can go back to that question, like part B in your physical geography, and do it and put in like an annotated diagram and put in another example and put in another SRP that you remember, and you've got time to and you've got that like time, and you've also got the space. So really important, always start on a new page. So do A on a new page, part B on a new page, part C on a new page, go into your regional geography, A on a new page, B on a new page, C on a new page, okay? Elective, A, B and C on a new page, geoecology on a new page, okay? So put a start on a new page for every single part of a question, okay? A little thing to bear in mind, okay? So if you want to get a H1, okay, it's to be safe, okay, so not to be changed by like the bell curve, okay, you're looking at about 92% to be very safe, okay? That's 460 marks out of 500, okay? So just let that sink in. That means you can only drop 40 marks in the entire paper, okay? So you can only drop 40 marks in the entire paper, and that's important to like that's really important to know, okay? Just looking on the chat here, okay? So Caitlin, I see you said you're so excited. This is great to hear. If anyone else has any questions, just pop them in the chat, because I am keeping an eye on it, and I'll click into it, okay? So any questions, just put them in there, and I'll happy to answer them, okay? Okay, so right, this brings on to the short questions, and this is the main focus of today's lesson, okay? So that was a quick 20 minutes just going over the exam technique, looking at the layout of the paper, talking about the adjustments that we know are as of today, which is the 5th of February, might change next week, might change the week after, and looking at like your technique then, your timing on answering both short and the long questions. Now look, I'm flying through this, okay? So I've put in the description below the video like links to previous like Saturday sessions, okay? So if you enjoy this and you're learning like lots from this, there's other Saturday sessions that you can click on that I've done in the past. You can also have done like predictions for like the 2021 paper. You can click on that video, and you can see that like I've pretty much got all the predictions right for the 2021 paper. And then I did like analysis video, so I put that all in the description and links, so you can click on that to see like other Saturday sessions, where I go into like much more detail, because I haven't got enough time today when we want to focus on like one section in particular. Okay, so we're going to look at short questions. So short questions is core unit 1, 2 and 3. This is where the questions come from. So they come from physical, regional and geographical skills. So you'll never get a question linked to your human elective or your economic elective or your culture in your option or geoecology. It's going to just come from physical, regional and your skills. So everyone has to study this because they're the core units, so everyone in Ireland has to study these. Now I know this year you can potentially leave out like regional, but you're still going to be asked questions on it in the short questions, okay? So that's why I presume, I take it that most students in Ireland will have studied all these units, okay, but they might, yeah, I understand you might leave out, like, say, one of these sections in your actual Leaving Cert because of the choice that you currently have, okay. So that's fine, the layout, okay. That's fine, okay, that's fine, okay. So looking at like so I just picked like some questions that come up quite a lot, okay. And just to make it like clear, like that you should know these like different things, okay. So questions that appear like regularly, okay. Layers come up quite a lot. The Earth's layers goes. So you've got the inner core, okay. You've got the outer core. You've got the mantle, okay. And then when you come up to the top, then you've got the asthenosphere, okay, which is top of the mantle, okay. And then you've got the lithosphere, okay, which is the very upper part of the mantle and the crust, okay. And then you've got the crust, okay. So we've got the crust, you've got lithosphere and asthenosphere, the mantle, outer core, inner core, okay. It could be shown in a diagram like this either, okay. So the globe, or you could have it where it's like kind of like the cross section, okay. Drainage pattern is really important, okay. So the dendric, so tributaries join the river at acute angles, so they look like a tree, okay. So tree-like, so which one that looks like a tree-like, okay. You can see C looks like a tree. Trellis, the tributaries join the main river at right angles, okay. Right angles, so looking up here at B. Derange, the main pattern of the river's area of flow is disorganized. So which one of these look disorganized? Okay, so we can see it'd be D. And then radial, surface rivers flow out of all directions from the center. Okay, so you can see kind of like a center here, and they all flow out, okay, from it. So that would be radial. Really important to know these. You're asked these quite often, either just to match them up, or it could be in like your OS map. Okay. Intrusive features, okay, now your intrusive features, so you got your bathylites, your lacolites, your dike, okay, you got your sill, very important, okay, sill, and fog, so then your extrusive feature then would be like, say, a volcano up here, okay, that's on the diagram. Folds, really important, so you've got your symmetrical or simple folds, they come up so often on the short questions. You've got your overfold, okay, where the truss comes over, asymmetrical, and you've got your overthrust, okay, so make sure you know the different folds. You got your faults, okay, so you got your reverse fault, okay, so movement is up, okay, so the movement is up, okay, so it happens at destructive where the plates are compressed, and then you got your normal fault where the movement is down. So these two look very similar. You got reverse and normal, okay. The difference though is, look at the arrows, okay, the movement is up because it's being compressed. It's that destructive plate boundaries colliding together, crashing together, and that's because it's being compressed. The movement is up. If you compress something in, it's going to have to go up because it's got nowhere else to go. This one here, constructive plate boundaries, it's pulling apart, okay, so it's been stretched. It's tension is what we call it here, and what happens is the movement is down. Then we have our tear fault, okay, what happens at conservative plate boundaries, or sometimes known as transform plate boundaries, or it can be known as passive or neutral, okay, so it's got a few different names, but it's when the plates like slide past each other, okay, and the line that we get here is known as like a tear fault, okay. And the last one, truss fault, okay, again it happens at destructive plate boundaries where it's being compressed, okay, but it's much longer, okay, compared to, if I go back to the reverse fold, okay, it's much more kind of like shorter, and like the movement is much more vertical. If I move on, some features that we get from faults, okay, so rift valleys and block mountains, okay, so you get the block mountains, okay, and you get rift valleys, okay, that happen here, okay, so example, East African Rift Valley, Black Forest in Germany, these are all on ExamRevision, like these videos, okay, we're explaining lots more detail, but I'm just quickly like showing you like some of the questions that come up, and things that you need to know. Surface features comes up a lot, okay, so you've got your clint, this is your limestone pavement, so you got your joints, okay, this gap here is the grike, okay, I always remember G for gap. The surface bit, okay, where flat bit is the clint, okay, and then little hollows on the clint, these are known as carons, and eventually they will turn into like a grike with weathering. Then weather maps is very common to come up in the exam, okay, so what things you need to know about weather maps. So you've got your cold front, you've got your warm front, okay, and you've got your occluded front is in pink. So red is warm, blue is cold, and pink is occluded, okay. Now it could be black and white. If it's black and white, how can you tell? Well, you've got like the triangles is the cold front, and you've got like the warm front has the like the semicircles, okay. So how I remember this is I think that this semicircle looks like a sun. Okay, it reminds me more of a sun than say the triangle. So that's why I remember that. It's the one front, and then if it has a semicircle and it has a triangle, that's an occluded front. Other things you need to know, so atmospheric pressure. So these are the isobars, okay, showing atmospheric pressure. The atmospheric pressure over here you can see is 1019 millibars. Okay, so it's high pressure. Normal atmospheric pressure is 1000. Okay, so this is why this is low pressure, because it's below 1000 millibars. This is above 1000, so it's high pressure. So 1019, it's high pressure. Low pressure 980. Okay, so high pressure usually brings calm, dry weather. Low pressure will bring like usually wet, windy, bad weather. Okay, so these are things that you need to be able to know. Okay, then if you're matching up these, okay, it's a common enough question that you ask to match them up. Okay, so if you know that, like, again, you get these questions, and what the first thing is important is you don't just jump into the question and just go okay A and just pick one. Just look at the questions, look at the fronts. You know that, like, warm front's going to bring like calm, dry weather, so it'll be kind of clear, you're not going to have clouds. If it's going to be a cold front, it's going to bring like wet weather, wet, windy, bad weather. So it's going to have like clouds, because you need clouds for precipitation to take place. So when we're looking at these, use a process of elimination. Okay, so look at these. Okay, that one's very, very clear. Okay, very, very clear for most of it. So it's going to be high pressure, like around here. Okay, it's kind of a bit both. Okay, this here we've got cloud. It's quite defined. So can we look in this map? Okay, yeah, I can see that's A. Okay, this is going to go A here, because you've got like you can see the cold front going down here along with the occluded front. So that's going to be A. Then we go on to the next one. What's the next one? What's quite obvious, like, to do the next one? Okay, so maybe we go, there's a lot of kind of clouds here. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of low kind of pressure. Kind of see what that one is going to be. Okay, it's going to be C. Then we've got lots of very, very clear just apart from the corner. So a little bit up at the top. So this is going to be this one here. It's high pressure all the way around here. Okay, and then you got the cold front here. So you've got the cold front here, low pressure there. Okay, yeah, it's clouds there, and a little bit at the top. Okay, so you can see it. And then that leaves us then with the last one. So which I can't remember which one I haven't done. So then it'd be this one here. So it'd be up here. So it's going to be D. Okay. Question like this. Okay. So you can get very often you're going to get a question like this. You will get questions like this. We have to got to match the points up. Okay, and you got to match like A, B, C, and D, and you got like the letters here, and you got to then say if it's chemical or physical or mechanical weathering. Okay, so the key thing is don't just rush into it. So you see oxidation, you're like, well, I don't know, right? Which one is it? You're not sure. Don't just pick one. Okay, read the next one. Carbonation, exfoliation. Okay, yeah, that's onion weathering. Okay. Freeze to oxygen. Okay, right, which one do I definitely know is okay, oxidation? Yeah, that's kind of going to be a reddish kind of color. Okay, oh, that one's very obvious, red. Right, go D. Okay, chemical or physical? Chemical. Okay, carbonation then, which one is carbonation? Okay, yeah, so carbonation, not sure exactly which one it is. It happens in the burn, I know. Okay, it could be that one. Okay, right, I'll leave it. Onion weathering, can I see that's been exfoliation? Yeah, that one looks like it's peeling. Okay, the rocks is peeling. Right, gonna go with this one. So B in here. It's gonna be mechanical, physical from the heat, freeze to oxygen, and then I've got carbonation. So which one of these is freeze to and which one is carbonation? So now it's easier. Now if you got two left, and you go right, that one freeze to oxygen, that's more for like freeze to oxygen. It looks like scree. That doesn't look like scree. It doesn't look like freeze to oxygen. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this one is for freeze to oxygen, and then A is going to be carbonation. So carbonation, chemical, freeze to oxygen, and mechanical. Okay. Slopes, make sure you know slopes and OS maps. Okay, so gentle slopes is the contour lines. There's going to be like even distance between them. Okay, so gentle slope. If it's steep slope, you'll see loads and loads of contour lines. Okay, if it's a convex slope, you'll see the contour lines will be far apart, like for the start, and then it'll get really, really steep. So what's happening is it's really, really flat, and then the slope drops down. Okay, and then you've got the concave slope. Okay, where it's really, really steep at the start, and then it gets really flat. Okay, so this is what it looks like on. These are the two that some like trick students or students find more difficult. Okay, I'm just gonna go as any. Okay, so I'm just checking to see if there's any messages in the chat. Okay, no, there's not. That's fine. There's no new ones. I hope you can see my cursor. I'm not sure if you can, but I hope you can see the cursor. So just back here on the on this question. Okay, so the convex and concave. Okay, so what you have is it's like the far apart, okay, and then it drops, okay. On this one here, then it drops straight away, and then it'll get far apart, okay. So it'll be steep here, close together, because it's the cave is the slope is dropping. It's very steep, and then it's going to get like flat. Now this is concave. So how I remember concave is if you draw this out, okay, it looks like a C, okay, and concave has got two C's, okay, so C, and this looks like a C. Where this one, if you draw out the slope here, it doesn't look like a C, okay. So the convex. So that's why I remember the difference between those two. Earthquakes, make sure you know the difference. You have to label the earthquakes. So you got seismic waves in A here. B, you got your fault line, okay. D, you got the epicenter, and C, you got your focus, okay. Now the one that sometimes tricks students is the focus and epicenter, okay. So I think focus, I think F for far down, okay. Now it's a silly way to remember, but like that's what helps me remember, and I use that, okay. So and I always think it's good to have little silly things to help you remember, because when sometimes the sillier they are, the more you remember, okay, because you've purposely made like an effort to try link it with something, okay. So focus, far down, that's what I remember, and epicenter, it's up directly above the focus. This question here, okay, the map question comes up every single year for the last number of years. Really important, okay, really important. True or false, you're going to have to use, you use this kind of graph, and you'll have to use your OS map to do this question, okay. I'll take a look at this now if it comes up in the question I'm going to go through in a few minutes. Statistics, so important, okay. They always ask tables, okay, and ask you just to name something, okay, and it'll be something like, you know, what was the percentage of the population using the internet in the West in 2014? And you're literally just going, right, the West 2014 matched up, okay, 75. So do I say 75 people? Do I just say 75? No, I say 75%, okay? So I put the little percentage. Otherwise, you just say 75, wrong, okay? So it's really important that you put in the unit, okay? But also, check it twice, okay? So check it twice. So 2014 West, go across, okay, yeah, it is 75, because so often students just go to the wrong part, go down, and they pick the wrong one, okay. So be really important, okay. Then you've got the OS map, okay. This question is going to come up, 2 or 3 questions on OS, like asking you to look at the OS map and the area photograph, and identifying features, which I'm going to go through now. Okay, so I'm just going to change this now, and going to go on and look at like the paper. So put that in. Okay, so I'm just going to get my iPad here and going to do this question, okay. So hope everyone can see so this question I'm going to do is so I'm going to try to do the whole paper. So I've got half an hour left, well 25 minutes left, so I need to be really quick, and I'm going to try do like this paper for you guys, so you can actually see what it's actually like, okay, and doing it. So the first question, so question 1. So this is your paper here, so you can see it's Leaving Cert examination paper for 2011. Okay, so if you want to even open up 2011 now, you can have the paper in front of you and you can see it. So I know I have it here in front of me as well. So you got 12 questions. They're going to mark your best 10, so they'll say attempt 10, but you should always attempt 12. Okay, that's the key thing. So the first one, okay, really easy, asking you to match up. And with these questions, the key thing is don't like jump into the question straight away and just go, okay, this here, right, and just pick one. Use a process of elimination. That's really important, okay, to use a process of elimination. So you got boulder clay, erratic, striations, and drumlins, okay. So you might be looking at this going, I don't know, sometimes you won't know what these are, okay, like that's okay. There might be one that you don't know. Very often there's one that you might not have heard of, or you're not really too sure of, like that's okay, but use a process of elimination to get the answer. So you have to be thinking like, which ones do I definitely know, right? Boulder clay, I should know what that is, and I should know erratic, yeah, I know what that is, it's a big rock by itself, and drumlin, okay, basket of eggs, I remember doing that in class, okay. So then you're looking at these and you go, well, that there is C is definitely erratic, okay. So you're picking C. C is definitely erratic because you just know that it's when it's by itself. And then you have to think, right, is it erosion? Is it erosion or a deposition feature? Okay, yeah, so erratic, it's deposition, so it's dumped. So I'm just going to say D. So I'll just say dep. Then you're going to do boulder clay. Yeah, boulder clay. That one looks like boulder clay. Okay, so it's B. So I'm going to go in here and say that's B. And boulder clay, that's going to be deposition as well. Excuse me, handwriting. Right, I'm not sure. Striations, I'm not sure about that. And drumlin, okay. So, oh, that's a drumlin there. Remember basket of eggs, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to say that's going to be D, and striations then must be A. Okay, that's the way you do a process of elimination. Okay, so you might not have heard of striations. I understand that, and they might have, and that makes it really easy for you. But there always seems to be like one or two words or features that you might not have heard of, or if you've only heard of briefly, so you're not 100% sure. Okay, so then you're like, right, striations, erosion, and then drumlin is deposition. First question done. Okay. Next question, okay, so this is questions 2 and 3. Now, I've got the maps here, and I'm going to just go on to question 4 next. The reason why I'm going to go on to question 4 next is I'm going to do them right at the end because there's a bit of messing it where I got to keep zooming into the maps, and I want to just leave that until towards the end, so I can do that because I know it can be a bit annoying when I'll be taking the map and zooming in like this, so you guys will see it, and then zooming back out. Okay, so I'll do that. Those 2 questions at the end. Okay, so I'm going on to the next one here. I've got asked me for European regions. Okay, so I've got my map here. I've got my key. So I'm going to read the question. Okay, so region type: cultural, physical, peripheral region, urban region. Now the key thing here is don't just jump straight in and pick a question. Okay, like go right Mezzogiorno. Okay, right. Which one is it? I'm not too sure. Okay, I'll just go. Don't do that. Go with the one that you definitely know is correct, okay? So go with the one that you definitely know is correct, right? So which one of these is a physical region? Mezzogiorno, no. Basque, okay. Basque region, you might be like, I'm not sure what that is. Didn't really study that, okay? That's okay. Paris region, okay. Yeah, oh, Alps, yeah. Must be the Alps, okay? So Alps is definitely is mountains. So the Alps is going to be my physical region. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say Alps, okay? Because that's the one that I definitely know. Now, if instead of having to pick from 4, I've got now just 3. Peripheral region, oh yeah, that's definitely the Mezzogiorno because I remember doing that in class. Okay, so now you've got your Mezzogiorno. Cultural region, okay, is the cultural region going to be Paris? Yeah, I think it could be. Or is it going to be an urban region? Okay, I'm not sure. Say you didn't know what the Basque region was, okay, in Spain, you weren't sure. Think about which one of these, right? Even if you didn't know what the Basque region was, now I know the Basque region is going to be the cultural region. But just say you don't know that. Say you just know the Paris basin. Okay, you're in Paris. Which one of these is more likely to be Paris? A cultural region or an urban region? Right, it's more probably likely to be an urban region because you know Paris is a big urban region. Okay, in Europe, so I would definitely go with Paris as the urban region. Okay, down here, and then that would just leave me putting in the Basque region here because it's like through the process of elimination. Now that's why. So I wanted to show you like I can get that full marks here even if you didn't know what the Basque region was. Now, fortunately, I did know what the Basque region was. I knew it was a culture region, but if you didn't, because it's very often this was going to happen in the exam, you'll have 1 or 2 that you're not 100% sure of. Do the ones that you do know, and then use a process of elimination, and it makes it much easier to get full marks in the paper. Okay. Okay. So if we're moving on to the next one, okay. And this question here is looking at your landforms, okay, and it's asking you for your sea stack, blowhole, bay, and sea arch. Now look at this. If you look at this picture, it's hard to know exactly which one's which, okay? So you need to be careful here. You need to like go, which one is most likely to be a sea stack, to be a blowhole, to be a bay, to be a sea arch. So use the process of elimination again. Don't just jump in and go, right, this one here, okay, what is it? I'm going to have to pick something. Don't do that. Go through it and go, right, which one do I definitely know is correct, okay? So this one here, okay, that looks like kind of like a hole. Is that a hole there? I'm not sure, okay. Going out here to sea, okay, so I know a sea stack is out in the sea. That's the only one that's really pointing out in the sea. And this one here, okay, so I'm thinking that this here is looking at the whole kind of area. That must be the bay. This here must be the sea stack, okay, because I know a sea stack has to be out in the sea, okay, you can't, and this here doesn't, it's not in the sea, and this is not in the sea. So I'm going to go with my sea stack is going to be C, and then I'm going to say my bay is going to be D, okay, so the bay is going to be D. So now I'm going to these 2. I've got my blowhole left and I've got my sea arch, right? So this here or this one here, and I'm not 100% sure which one is which one's which, okay, because it's hard to see. So you need to use a process of elimination, just like we did in the last question with the Basque region and the culture region. Which one is most likely to be it, or which one is most likely to be one of these? Well, this looks like the blowhole to me, okay, and then this, oh yeah, this must be the sea arch. This makes sense now to me because you can see the water's going through it, so that must be an arch just there. Okay, yeah, perfect. I've got the answer. I know, and I'm gonna put in the sea arch is going to be B, and the blowhole is going to be A. Okay, so I've now got my full answers, full marks. But if I ask you, what's that there, that feature, you might not be able to tell straight away, but now I know, I understand, because I'm after using the process of elimination. It's only left this one, and I know sea arch. Oh yeah, the water's gone through. It makes sense to me now, okay? And you've got the full marks, and you can move on. Next one is going to be the weather chart, okay? So weather chart, we're looking at, so the Irish weather chart, okay, looking over Ireland. You've got true or false questions, okay? You're gonna have these questions on your exam, and the first one they ask is, okay, so the weather over the Iberian Peninsula is very calm, okay, true or false? And you might be like, the Iberian Peninsula, where is that, okay? Now, if you don't know where that is, okay, then you've got a 50% chance of guessing, so make sure you have a guess, okay? But I do know it's the mountainous area of Portugal and Spain, okay? So down here, I can see high pressure, because it's 1037, and anything above 1000 is going to be high pressure, okay? So high pressure brings calm, dry weather. They're saying that it's very calm. Oh yeah, that's going to be true, okay? So nice and easy. I can just go true, okay? The next one then, there is a cold front over Central and Northern Europe. So it's a cold front over Central and Northern Europe, okay? So looking over here, okay, cold front, yeah, there is, look, there we go, we can see the cold front. So again, it's going to be true. The next one then is going to be there's an anti-cyclone affecting Ireland and Great Britain. So it's an anti-cyclone affecting Ireland and Great Britain. Okay, so you've got an anti-cyclone. It's going to be the warm front. Okay, sorry, the cold front. The warm front then is going to be. Oh, sorry, the anti-cyclone is going to be the warm front. Okay, but you've also got then the cold front here, which is the depression. Okay, so you've actually got both here. So in this question here, they actually made a mistake on this one. It can be either true or it can be false. The exam, like this particular year, the examination, the commission actually accepted both true or false, because you can see here this warm front is an anticyclone. Okay, so that's true. But also you could say you've got like the cold front here, and you got the occluded front as depression, so it could be false. So that's why they had to accept both on that particular one, just to make you know. And then winds are light over Ireland. Okay, winds are light over Ireland. Okay, so you can see that. So this is going to be false. Okay, so not light. You can see there's got like anticyclone, got depression as well, cold front, got areas low pressure. Okay, so it's going to be false. Okay, the next question moving on to is looking at this. Okay, so landforms. You got to identify different landforms, and you're going to get this in your map. You got a very common question in the paper. So you got V-shaped valley, corrie or cirque, arete, and a meander. Put in the letters, and then you have to say if it's fluvial or glacial. Okay, so with this one, again, don't jump into the question. Look at the features, okay? And you have to say which one is most likely to go in here. Because if I ask you what feature is that, it's very hard to say what feature that is. But if I look at all four, and then I look at the four landforms that I have, I can then use a process of elimination and go, well, that's definitely the V-shaped valley, or that's definitely the cirque or the corrie. And then you've got, when you use a process of elimination, then it's much easier, and you know that you've got it correct, okay? So which one do I know is definitely, well, a meander. I know a meander is a river, okay, and it's going to be bends in a river, okay? So it could be this one here maybe, okay, or it could be this one here, I'm thinking. It's not going to be, there's no river here, no, okay, so it's looking at this whole area, okay? So this whole area, it's not going to be that. So the whole, okay, so it's going to be this one or this one. Right, I'm not going to just make my answer, I'm not going to guess just yet, okay? No, I'm not guessing, make my decision just yet, because there's two rivers there. I'm not just 100%, I think it's A, but I'll just leave it, okay? Come back to it. This is what I would do in the exam. Right, C. Oh, C looks like really contour lines really close together. Okay, it looks like it's both sides. Okay, there we go. I can see this going to be arete, okay, where two cirques actually meet each other, okay. So I'm going to go arete here, so that's going to be C. And then is it fluvial or glacial? I know that's going to be glacial. Next one, okay, I'm going to go on to is going to be looking at this one here, okay, this whole area. Okay, so this whole area is going to be your cirque or corrie, okay, because it's looking at the whole area. It's like that kind of armchair where you sit into, and it's going to be B. So I'm going to say B here for my corrie, and it's glacial, I know. Now I'm going to go back to this meander one that I had, okay, in the V-shaped valley. So it's asking me for a V-shaped valley, and I know it's either going to be D or A, okay. So which one of this is more likely to be a V-shaped valley? Okay, this one here, I don't really see a V-shaped valley. This one here, oh yeah, I can see that the contour line is kind of going into that kind of V, okay. So this one here is going to actually be the V-shaped valley. This leaves me with the meander. Oh, there's the bend. Yeah, perfect. So you see the way I didn't jump into that and just pick this one as straight away as the meander, because you see the river, you'd be like, oh, well, there's a little bit of a bend, okay? But I know that this is more likely to be a V-shaped valley compared to this one, and this one is a meander then. So it actually makes a decision for me, okay? So I'm going to go back in here, V-shaped valley, and I'll say D, and then I'll say that's going to be fluvial, and then meander is going to be A, and that's going to be fluvial. And that's that question, full marks, and we move on to the next one. Here we go. This is what we looked at in the question. I said the earth structure is really, really important. Okay, so they're asking for B, C, D, and A. Okay, again, don't jump into your answer. Like, just think about it. Okay, which one do you definitely know right? I definitely know this one here. Okay, this one here is definitely going to be the core. So I'm going to do that one. That's going to be A. Okay, so I've got my A done. Next one, which one do I definitely know? Well, I think I'm going to know this bit here. Okay, it's the mantle. Okay. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to say mantle is going to be D. Okay. Now I've got the asthenosphere and the crust. Okay. So the asthenosphere and the crust. Okay. So I can see the mantle goes to there, and then up here we've got this bit, and then this one is bit of the upper mantle. Okay, and the crust. Okay. So I'm going to go with this one is going to be B, because this, see, the mantle goes from that point to this point, and then here to here is going to be the crusts. So I'm going to go the crust is going to be B, and then the asthenosphere is going to be C, and I've got full marks. And go on to the next question. Okay, so you're looking at different rock types. Again, you have to match them up. Okay, so A, B, C, and D. You've got all these different rocks type throughout Ireland. Okay, and you have to match them up. Now, if I just go right, what rock is that? You might be like, oh, I don't know. What's this one? What's it? It's hard to know exactly when you first look at it. But by looking at the answers that you have down here and using the process of elimination, it makes it much easier, right? Okay, so which one is the most common? Okay, this bluish kind of rock is the most common here. I can see this. Oh, limestone is down here. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go with A for limestone there. I know limestone is found in every county apart from Wicklow in Ireland. I can see that seems to be the most popular rock type throughout the Ireland. So yeah, it must be that one. Okay, now I've got C here. Okay, I've got D down here, and I've got B up here. Okay, so which ones have we got? Basalt, sandstone, granite. Oh, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that basalt, okay, joins causeway up here. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this is the next one. Okay, so it's gonna be B, and then I've got my sandstone and I've got my granite. Okay, so sandstone and granite. So whereabouts do you find sandstone or granite? Okay, so if you know that you find sandstone down in Cork, okay, perfect, you know that. Okay, but one way you might know is, like, you might be thinking, right, yeah, then like the Wicklow Mountains. Okay, you've got, like, there's very often like granite found on the tops of the mountains. Okay, and for example, like on top of the Sugarloaf, you find granite, and you might just know it. But even if you get to the stage and you're not sure, right, between these two, you got a 50% chance. You know you got limestone right, you know you got basalt, and you got a 50-50 chance now of getting it right. Okay, and then you can just have a guess, and if you get it right, you get full marks. If not, you'll get the 4 out of 8. But use that. I've broken it down. I've made it easier to give myself like a 50% chance of doing this. But I know the sandstone's found in Cork. I know that's going to be D, and then I know that this is going to be C, because I know that you can find along the Wicklow Mountains, you find like lots of granite is found. Okay, so moving on to the next one then. So I've got satellite interpretation. Okay, so we've got like to look at this. Okay, to give you 4 different pictures, and you got to pick which one's which. Okay, so again, don't jump into it, read them. So oil slick on the Gulf of Mexico, flooding in Pakistan the 5th of August 2010, erupting volcano in Alaska, San Andreas fault in California. Okay, so right, I'm looking at these, which one is going to be which? Okay, right, so I'm thinking, looking at this, like, which one should I definitely have to know? Okay, all right, I would have thought the flooding I'd be able to get. Okay, can I see, is there flooding in any of them? Right, I think it might be this one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna leave it. San Andreas fault. Okay, can I see San Andreas fault? Okay, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, right, maybe I go erupting volcano Alaska. Okay, this one's a volcano. I know this is I know this one's going to be erupting volcano, because look at it, it looks like a volcano. So I'm going to go straight in there, and that's going to be erupting volcano, so it's going to be B. Okay, the next one I can see like an oil slick on the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so an oil slick on the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, I can see this one here is an oil being leaked out here, so I'm going to go with this one is the oil slick on the Gulf of Mexico. Now I'm left with my flooding and my San Andreas. Okay, so my flooding, so it's either this one or this one. I'm not 100% too sure between like which one's the correct answer. So think about it. and look at which one's most likely. So San Andreas Fault, is this San Andreas Fault here? Okay, I don't think this San Andreas Fault. It looks very flat. It actually looks like it's probably been a bit flooded, okay? Okay, flooding here. This one here, I'm not 100% sure. San Andreas, if I can see it, maybe this is the fault line going down here. Okay, this one's definitely more likely to be a San Andreas Fault because this one's not, okay? And it looks like there's more flooding here than here, okay? So what I'll do is then I'll just go with which one is more likely to be. So I'll go C here, and then I'll go D down here. And again, I've got my full marks, and I move on to the next question. This is the table I was talking about that you need to make sure that you do like this and you read it properly, okay? So the first one is, you're going to be given this 10, 11, 12 are always like the graphs, tables, like they have to like answer really easy questions, but they ask them every year because students get them wrong. So you need to make sure that you read them and you do them properly, okay? So the first one we're going to look at says what was the generating wind capacity for 2009. So I'd highlight that 2009. Okay, so I'm going to 2009. I'm looking at wind. Don't look at anything else. So wind capacity. So I know then if I go with this wind capacity, it's going to be this one here. Okay, so I know then get my answer. I'm going to write in my answer. That's going to be 1, 2, 6, 4. Do I leave it like that? No. Why? Because I said to you at the start that you need to make sure do you have your units in. So you got to see that the units is here and also the units is here. So you can actually write in megawatts, or you can say MW. But if you don't put in this, if you don't put in that MW, you'll get it wrong, okay? And you'll get no marks, even though you've gone to all the effort to get the right answer. You've done all the hard work. You went to 2009, you went to wind, and you got 1264, but you didn't put in the megawatts, so then you get no marks. Briefly explain one reason why there has been an increase in the use of wind energy in Ireland for generating electricity. Okay, so why is there being like an increased use? Okay, so you can say something like, I don't know, wind energy is, I'm just going to write in short, is cleaner and it's cheaper. Okay, his initial cost is expensive, but then after that, so it's cleaner and cheaper than burning, let's say, fossil fuels. So fossil fuels, and I would then say like e.g. like oil. Okay, just give an example. Okay, the next one then says calculate X generating capacity for biomass in 2009. 2009. Okay, so fine. Gonna go do this one. So just saying 2009. So I'm gonna actually use different colors. 2009. Okay, so looking at that one, highlight that one. They're asking for biomass, so make sure I highlight biomass. 2009. Go across here, and I've got the X. Okay, so what I need to work out what this is going to be. Okay, so you have to then work out like exactly what this is going to be. So how are we going to do this? Well, you've got the total here. Okay, so 162. So what you're going to do is you're going to add up 30 plus 27 plus 25 plus 18, 17 and 12. Okay, so if I add up all these, let me just get my calculator out. So 12, sorry, so I'm just getting my calculator. So 12 plus, you can actually do this now as well, you can add up on your phone. 12 plus 18 plus 17 plus 25 plus 27 plus 30. Okay, so it's 129. Okay, so that works out to be 129. So if I add up all these, I get 129. The total is 162. Okay, so if I take those two figures away from each other, 162 take away 129. That gives me 33. Okay, so I get 33 here. And I leave it as that? No, I don't do that, because if I leave it as 33, I'll get 0 marks. But if I put in MW, or write in megawatts, I'll get the full marks. And imagine doing all the calculation and doing all this, working out that you got 129, then you know, oh, take it away from 162 and you get 33. You've done all the hard work and you don't put in MW, you get no marks. So don't do that. Don't make that mistake. And then the last one then says name 2 other sources of renewable energy not named in the table below. Okay, so you can see wind, hydro, biomass. Okay, so we can say solar is one that's not being mentioned above. Geothermal energy could be one, or I'll just go for wave or tidal could be another one. So you got solar energy, wave energy. The key thing here is though you don't mention wind, hydro or biomass. Don't mention them, because he said 2 other sources not named in the table above. So don't go in and then just put in wind and hydroelectric power, you get none. So solar is one that's not mentioned. Geothermal is another one. Wave, biomass. Biomass is mentioned. You could say solar, or tidal is another one. Okay, so that's that. Going to the next question. Okay, so Going to this one, so it says looking at a graph, okay, and you have to then work out. So what was the house prices? Where was the house price lowest in July 2010? Okay, so I need to make sure I'm going to take this. So I'm going to say July 2010. Okay, so July 2010. So highlight that. And where was it the lowest? Okay, so where was the house prices the lowest for this? Okay, so it's going to be house prices. It's going to be the pink one. Okay, and it says house prices outside of Dublin. So then I just write in outside of Dublin. What was next one I go on to do is what was the house price in Dublin in July July 2002. So I go July 2002. House prices in Dublin. Okay, so Dublin is this line here. It's the blue line. So I'm going up here. So you're going to cross. And you're going to be, yeah, it's 250,000. Okay, so I'm going to get 250,000. And make sure you put in the euro sign. If you don't put in the euro sign, you won't get the marks because you haven't got the unit. When did house prices in Dublin reach their peak? Okay, when did house prices in Dublin reach their peak? So this is it up here. Okay, so this one here. So if I bring this down, get my highlighter. I'm trying to use a different color. So I use blue. And I'll come down here. So April 2007. So I'm going to go April 2007. And then last one, briefly explain one reason why a collapse in house prices after 2007. Okay, so it's an economic recession. Okay, so economic recession. Oh, sorry, I've spelled that wrong. Undo. So economic recession, and because of the economic recession, it led to fall in, you can say a fall in demand. And then as a result, prices then of fell because there was less people wanted to buy them. Okay, and that's that. That's the last question. Yeah, okay, moving on to the next one, okay. So I'm quickly going to go back, and I said I'd do these ones here, and there is a bit of messing about like with this one, okay. So I'm going to try to do this one, but please bear with me because I have to show you. I'm going to be like zooming in and out of like maps and stuff like that, so I know that can be a little bit difficult. So with this one here, so it says, what type of antiquity is found at grid reference Q, subordinate 457015. Okay, so I just need to, I've got my exam papers here beside me. I'm going to just open up them, so make sure that I have, because I'm going to be zooming into the map here, so I won't be able to see what it is. So let me just take the map here now and zoom in. Okay. Okay, so I hope everyone can see that map. And you can see that map there. Okay, so we zoomed into the map there. And the grid reference then is, so Q45, oh sorry, Q45 015, so 015. Okay, and okay, so Q451 antiquity is found at 01545, so halfway 015 015. Okay, so it's just, if you zoom in there, you can see that's a little triangle, a little circle. Okay, so they asked for antiquity. So what's that going to be? Now, if you don't know what that little circle is, how do you know what the answer is? You just go to your legend. Okay, so you go to your legend, open up your legend, and it will tell you that if you find a little red circle, okay, it's going to be a ring fort, okay, or an enclosure. So ring fort, put in here, get the full marks. Okay, what is the altitude above sea of the antiquity named above? Okay, so what's the altitude? Okay, it's looking for the altitude. So go back in here and asking for so they're asking you to work out what the altitude is. Okay, so if you go back in here, so 0145. Okay, so the altitude is just there. Okay, so you can see that line there, that little. Let me zoom in a little bit further. Okay, can everyone see that? Okay, see that little ring fort there? That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at, and see that line there. Okay, that tells you what the altitude is. Okay, so it tells you, it's the contour line. It tells you the height of land above sea level. Okay, so it's 50. Okay, 50, but 50 what? Okay, what is it? 50 meters. Okay, so you need to say 50, and you say m. Okay, the next one then has the Tourist Information Centre. So the Tourist Information Centre at Q4. So 44. So go 44 here. Okay, and then 01. 010, okay, and it says as it got, so I know, so this is it here, it's the green one, it's the green information tourist one, okay, so it says, has it got regular open hours, okay. Now if you go to your legend and you see that the green tourist information center, you'll see that it's green, it will say yes, it's got normal open hours, so then you just go true or yes. And then the very last one, the landform and grid reference, landform and grid reference 46, so Q4602. So get my map again. Q46, so Q4602. Okay, so Q is I can see here. So Q4602. Okay, so I can see it's a conical hill. Okay, in this one. Okay, so conical hill. And I'll just get my thing and I'll take it. The next one, looking at the aerial photograph. Okay, so looking at the aerial photograph. So I just want to open. Oh, sorry. Okay, perfect. So I just want to lock this. Okay, so next one says, name the road which enters the aerial photograph in the right background, runs the roundabout in the center middle ground. Okay, so the right background. So you need to know the different. So you've got foreground, middle ground, background. Okay, so right background, and you've got a name with this road, and it's the right background, runs in the roundabout in the center. Okay, so it runs down here. Okay, so what you need to do then is you need to go to your aerial photograph. Okay, your aerial photograph. So open it back up, this aerial photograph. You need to work out where this is looking at. Okay, so so where can I see is this here? Okay, and I can see. Okay, so sorry, I knew this is the map was going to be a little bit awkward, like trying to like show you exactly how it's going to go. So with the map here, zoom in. Sorry, I'm going to just zoom in so you can see it. Okay, so I can see this. Okay, so I'm looking for this road here that runs right into the center. So I'm looking right into the center. What is that going to be? Okay, so I can see that that's going to be the OR 560 there. Okay, so OR 560. The next one then, name the road which enters the aerial photograph the right foreground and runs the roundabout at the center middle ground. Okay, so sorry, undo that. So it says name the road that enters the aerial photograph in the right foreground. Okay, so the right foreground. So the right foreground is here, and it goes to the roundabout. Okay, so it goes to the roundabout again. Okay, so right foreground. Okay, so right foreground. You can see this one here coming in here. Okay, so it goes into the center here. It's the roundabout. So follow this along and see it's the N86. So N86. Next one, which of the following points on the camera was the, sorry, which of the following points was the camera was when the aerial photograph was taken? Okay, when the aerial photograph was taken. Okay, so you're looking at this and you're trying to figure out like where was the camera taken from. Okay, so we know that like if you zoom in here, we know it's like kind of looking at like straight down, and we know that road there, this road coming in here is this road is here. Okay, so where was that actually taken? Okay, and we actually know the other one then as well. Remember from our answer here. So this one here, the OR 560. So we know that that is this road here running out. So this road running out here, okay, the OR 560. We've worked out that one. So it must be taken from like this kind of direction down here. So I'm gonna look at my grid reference that I've got that I can possibly have. So I'll take my grid reference, so I'll make it like this so you can see it. So is it going to be 43 99, no, 439, no, it's not going to be 439, it's not, it wasn't taken that direction, no. Next one, 46, 44, Q446, Q 446, 0, 0, 0, 007. So from there, yeah, possibly, look, it's looking right at that road, and you can see that road going out, and he's got the town, okay. And let's see the next one, 45, use process of elimination, 445, 02, no, it wasn't above it, no, so it has to be through the process of elimination, it has to be this one, okay, we know it's that one there. And then, which direction was the camera pointing there a photograph was taken? So we know if the camera was taken, we've worked out the points, so 446, 07, 446, 007, 4, so 446, 00, so we know it's like taken like this point, like that point there, okay. So if I want to work out then the direction it was pointing, okay, if you do like north arrow, okay, we know this, so that's north, south, east, and west. I'm just going to change the color, and we know that we're pointing like is going like that direction, so then it must be north west. Okay, so I'm going to then take that. Oh, sorry. So it's northwest. So I'm going to just put in down here my northwest, and that's that. Okay, so let me just delete that. So there we go, I've got my answer fully complete. And that's my 12 answers done. Okay, so I know it's 12:08 there, so it just took me 30, just the 30 minutes to do those 12 questions. Okay, and obviously I was trying to like explain them and teach them there as well to you, to show you that. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Has anyone got any questions? Let me just go have a look at the chat in a bit. Okay, no. So I think so that's the whole paper like done there. If anyone wants to sign up to a revision course, you can. Also, for anyone that came on to this tutorial, there's you can sign up to like our Leaving Cert. If you would like want to get like the whole like revision like the whole course, okay, you want to get like the Leaving Cert Geography for the whole course, you can sign up to a standard or premium plan. Okay, so I'll just show you like example what it looks like. Okay, so this is the Leaving Cert Geography. Okay, you click in here, you've got your physical, you've got your regional, your geographical skills, elective, your options. So say for physical, you click in here, you've got all the different chapters all broken down. Say you wanted like then the rocks, you've got like these are all videos. Okay, so if say you want the formation of igneous rocks or formation of sedimentary rocks or whatever it might be, rocks, like click in here, and it's me like doing the videos for the whole course. Okay, so this is a 6 minute long one, and I talk about the whole course and explain it all in detail for you. Also, you've got then your quizzes that you can take. You've got then the PowerPoints, so you can click on the PowerPoints. The PowerPoints will open up. It has it for the entire course for Leaving Cert Geography. And if you go through it, you'll see here, there we go through like the whole course. All papers all just there done in PowerPoint presentations. If you wanted to do exam paper questions, you just click on build. Well, it says for I'm a teacher, so it says build your exam. But if you wanted to get like the past paper questions, so this is come up in 2020, explain one the plutonic igneous rock and metamorphic rock, you just click on it, and then you get the marking scheme as well. And all the questions then here are in rocks. So you can take the whole topic and study the videos, you can do the quizzes, you can do the PowerPoints, and also you've got then the H1 notes to go along with it. Okay, so if you click in here, does this open up for you? Actually, you can't see it, sorry. I almost have to explain this and you can't see it. So you've got like then the notes then to go along with this for Leaving Cert. Okay, so sorry, I was just showing you like the Leaving Cert, like the course here that's on ExamRevision as a premium or standard plan. Okay, so the premium plan gets all the, here's the course here: physical, regional, geographical skills, electives. Click into physical, and you went to say rocks, like I was showing. You got all the different, all the blue ones are PowerPoint present. Oh, sorry, are videos. So this is the rock cycle, and you can see if I click on this, go forward, you've got like me explaining like the rock cycle in really good detail, so you can learn the whole Leaving Cert course for geography in here. And then if I go back, and so I've got that for all the different chapters. Okay, so if I go back into rocks, into my folder, I've got then the quizzes that you can take, okay, so, and it's all tracked, okay. So you can see here I scored 33, so maybe I need to go back and do that one. I haven't taken this one here. Got the PowerPoint presentations to go with it. Okay, so the PowerPoint presentations, if you click in here, it'll open up and you can go through the PowerPoint, and it's for the whole course, okay. It's all in there. And if you want to sign up, you can use the discount code SHORT20, okay. So that's going to be activated after this class, and it will give you 20% off a standard or a premium plan, but it's only until tomorrow night at 11:59, so it's only for students that watched it, and it's not active yet, but it'll be active immediately after this class, okay. And then if you want to get like Study Then Rocks, you can click on it and you get the questions. So this come from 2020, this come from 2020, this is 2020 for rocks as well, this is 2019. If you want the marking scheme, you click on it and you can get all the marking schemes to go with it. And also then, like I was showing you, you've got the green one there is the H1 notes, and this is for the entire Leaving Certificate Geography course, and it's like this for all our subjects on ExamRevision, okay. So if you want Leaving Cert Maths, you want Geography, Irish, English, History, Biology, Physics, French, Spanish, Ag Science, Music, we have them all, okay, and it's all the same layout, okay, to make it so you can maximize and you can maximize your points in your Leaving Cert. Okay, so that's it for today's class. If there's any questions, please ask in the chat. You can also ask on our Instagram page, and I'll get back to them as well. But thanks for tuning in today. Thank you.